Hello again, folks, and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I'm your Dungeon Master Darius. Last we left off, we had leveled up, and then we had went off and tried to explore some more, and where we had found this charming fellow by the name of Daeran. I leveled him up off screen, so as he is with the rest of the party, but all the party is going to get the same amount of experience points. So I guess new party members will just level up to that point with the rest of the party. That said, he is Oracle, one of the more interesting classes when it comes to Pathfinder, 2nd edition or 1st. Powerless Prophecy, so he is staggered on the first round of combat. Staggered, if I'm remembering right, makes it so as you can only take either a standard or a move action on the turn. So while he might be going first commonly because his initiative is a +7 at the least now, he is looking at basically being useless unless he just pumps out channel positive energy, which, by the way, is kind of his shtick. He channels positive energy, and to heal living or deal damage to undead. He can treat afflictions, but that's just a basic freaking thing of his. I leveled him so that he can brew potions. So this should make it so as he can just actually, like, brew potions of healing, which would be fan-freaking-tastic. I don't know if he has the Arcana for it now that I'm thinking about it. Or no, he's got the religion-ish. But besides that, so as an Oracle, he has the ability to do lots of helpful healy stuff with his life stuff. Yes, oracles are weird in that they have mysteries that make it so as they focus on certain things. I'm not entirely sure why life is nature lore when it comes to that, but regardless. So he can, with additional spells, remove sickness, lesser restoration, neutralize poison, regular restoration, breath of life, which is just a fantastic spell, heal, which is a great spell, greater restoration, mass heal, and heroic invocation, which allows you to grant a target all allies in a 30-foot burst. Damn. Massive bonuses. But again, that's level 9, so I don't know if he's going to live that long. Powerless Prophecy, I went over. Uncanny Dodge. So his prophecy does make it so as he gets Uncanny Dodge, which makes it so as he cannot become flat-footed, thus losing his dexterity modifier to his, AC. That said, his AC sucks. That is primarily because oracles are squishy unless they take very specific mysteries. There's mysteries of like life, death, battle, fire, water, so on and so forth. But again, we don't get those until, well, mysteries and revelations, we don't get those until like 7th, 11th, and so on levels. That said, they are pretty interesting. I just don't like Daeran so far. He is primarily going to stick in the back because he is not exactly a chunky character. He can equip medium and light armor and heavy armor, I think. But there is just one small problem. His strength is a 7. So he's pretty much not going to be able to wear anything that is too heavy unless that encumbrance shoots right up into medium. And he can defend himself, but man, I want to put I'm gonna put a chain shirt on him at the least. Chain shirt. Yeah, chain shirt. Because yeah, having the healer die in combat is always one of the worst things that can happen. Besides that, I think I had mentioned last time that I had given the longsword of the right to Sela, because yes, she still has the collapse in the back, but no one really got hurt that last time, which I'm kind of amazed by. Also, I've not fully explored this place. As you can see, there's plenty of corpses to be had. Blood vial, more masterwork scimitars. Hello. There's a magic bardiche. Decimation. Whenever this +1 cold iron bardiche confirms a critical hit, it deals an additional 1 damage to Constitution. Ooh. That's sexy. The crying shame it's only on crits, but goddamn, that's sexy. And just a dagger. Drunken nobles. Oh yeah, we'd also spoken with what's-her-face here too. Intricate patterns in the harp indicate the hallmarks of the goddess Desnan. Okay.
Can we retreat already?
Oh, hello. Keep on forgetting what elements that they're immune to, and pretty much everything tiefling-wise. I'm into it. And which one are you? You're the one in the back? Yeah. So yeah, pretty much he's going to be our best dude. And anytime he's not going to be healing, he's probably going to hit, but inflict no damage on particular attacks. Oh man, I'm so glad that I gave him that armor. This is fine. Ooh, loot. Purification station. Wonder how long these demons had actually been here. Hello. Alright. All the booze. Gonna have ourselves a party. Ooh. Touch of gracelessness. And a first aid kit. Always welcome to have more first aid kits. Even though I'm 100% going to misunderstand, misread, and not remember what it is that the first aid kit does. Mobility. Oh, area exit. Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're gonna just leave behind those daggers. I don't need them. Don't want them, don't need them. Let's see. I forget exactly what it is that I've been doing. Learn full story. Find something else that once belonged to Rindalev. That one doesn't seem to have a "This ends this chapter" logo, which is fine. A friend in need is a friend indeed. That's the one found in the streets of Canterbury. Right. So the she should be up back at the Defender's Heart. Looking down Thal, young mage, is no easy task. A good follower of the noble impetuous goddess, he will not sit idly by while the city is overrun by demons. Aranka, the bard and Desnan adept, offers a shawl that will make its wearer out as a friend to her fellow worshipper. Thal can probably be found in the market square. Back to the market square, I guess. It's kind of funky walking around with very little arcane presence again. Like, goddamn. I don't know. I kind of miss the ability to simply fireball someone I don't like. Pardon me while I enjoy my morning coffee, or my midnight coffee as it were.
I'll go ahead.
Alright, now to just hope that we haven't found Thal already and murdered him. Boy, that'd be a shame. Is there no part of this area of not looted? Apparently there's this treasure chest I've not looted. Pick the lock thief. I might explain it though. Scroll up to your light, regular light mace, and some coin. Alright. Have I already been into this house? I'm pretty sure I have.
I know the way.
Was this the one being... this is the one where that demon was. Specifically one that I... Did I?
Follow my lead.
I don't remember if I had let the demon go or not. Pretty sure I had tested it. It was like, hey, this demon suddenly ran off because the circle was imperfect. And I'm like, oh. As much as Aaron doesn't care for the average human life, he'd probably not want to have just another random ass demon chilling in a town filled with other demons. Oh, pardon me, I saw you with that shawl. Does that mean that you're a friend of Aranka's? What am I saying? Of course it does, so... The young man's speech is interrupted by the arrival of a new cast of characters. People in the robes of Iomede's inquisitors appear from all sides surrounding them. Adept Thal of the Temple of Desnan, you are under arrest under suspicion of treason and aiding the demons. You have 1 minute to come quietly, drag your feet, and we'll count that as an attempt to resist justice. The youth's eyes go wide and he says nothing, clearly not knowing what to do. Man, not a whole lot of these are exactly what he would do. And he did say that he would try to get this guy to safety. You are torturing this boy for nothing. I cannot stand by this. We are following orders and acting for the good of the city. The troublemaker must be arrested. Well, excuse me. Oh god, I did not mean to cough into the microphone. I apologize. Let's have you 5 foot step here. Does that put you in? Yes. And every single one of them made their saving throw. Great! I love it when that happens. Disclaimer, I don't actually love it when that happens. Okay, 34 hit points. These guys aren't too bad. Definitely seem to be working. Okay, what is this judgment ability you're doing? Ah, informative. You gotta love it when they tell you absolutely everything about a particular
Into the fray!
I'm pretty sure I know what it is that it does, and it annoys me. Good. So we hit this guy in the back. Or not. God damn it. So I'm fairly certain judgment is simply raising their scores by a lot. I've got selective channeling, so I could just pump that out. I mean, either that or just summon a monster. Yeah, why not? Behold, a wolf. That wolf did nothing. Conjuring, yes. 20 damage. Excuse you, sir. I don't know what brand of what brand of wheeze you went and had today, but cease.
Beg me
really?
to stop.
That is the second freaking nat one. Let's just end this guy if we can. So this guy is annoying. Yes, shoot him.
I will see to your demise.
See, the great thing about this situation right here is that their AC is 23. Not sure if anyone knows how high 23 AC is, but it's high.
The light will take you!
Annoyingly so. Basically to the point where most of our... pretty much only of the melee combatants can really hit it unless we do spells, which... I'm fine with doing spells. It's just, goddamn it. You could have hit on a 12. There we go. I'm just gonna... Hi. Young man glances at the bodies of the Inquisitors, then turns around. Oh, Desnan, why in doing what is right must we so often be forced to spill blood where it is not necessary? Can this really be the price of the true path and of freedom? He tried to kill you all, and you pity him? You coward. You spit in the enemy's corpse. You don't drown in your tears. Does it take great strength to hate an enemy and celebrate their death? Anyone can do that, but to feel sorry for your enemies, that is something that only very strong people can do. I hadn't considered it that way. You're probably right, doing what that does take strength, but then why waste it on such a pointless activity? Pitying your enemy won't help you defeat them. Wait, maybe it would help you somehow, I don't know. Anyways, thanks. I'd have been done for without you. Yeah, a clash with the Inquisition was bound to happen sooner or later. Maybe, but if it wasn't for our stunt at the Wardstone, which we didn't even save... Anyways, I have only myself to blame. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to the Temple of Desna. I want to be alone with the goddess and reflect on what has happened. It's gonna be a little bit hard, seeing as there is other people there. Just saying. Yes. That, there you go. No. Everyone, thank you. Alright, I guess it's up to the Temple of Desna. Into the house, Temple of Desna. This is going to be one of those situations where it's going to be actually impossible to remember how the hell to get over there, isn't it? Or the party is going to get stuck. I don't doubt the stuckness. No, no. It's actually a straight shot to Desna's. Funky.
As it should be.
It shouldn't be funky, but okay. Milo. I'm gonna quick save before I get into conversation, just in cases. Ilks, Aranka rather, and Thal sit side by side like sparrows on a tree branch. They seem happy despite the chaos going on around them. If it isn't our rescuer, it's good that you've come. Sit with us. Stopping for a moment won't hurt, so I'll gladly sit, I suppose. The adept shares a conspiratorial look. We've decided to give you a gift, a special gift, one we can never share with anyone except for the person who risked his life for ours. Who didn't just take a stand against evil, but against injustice under the guise of the law. Our gift, Aranka cuts in, is a song. We call it Starward Gaze, and it came to us from the true servants of Desnan from her domain in Elysium. This song can gift a soul with renewed vitality. Just listen. Do I get a gift? Can I swap my song for something else? Say cash or even a stack of some kind? Paying no attention to Woljif's chatter, the young woman continues to sing. Yeah, listen in silence. Ilk swings at you. Free your soul. Sing with us. I want to make sure you remember the song. It will be useful to you in the future. Will it? I mean, I don't know how this is chaotic at this point, but you repeat the melody, feeling it's coming from somewhere within your heart, and then... Oh boy. 1 second while I clear my throat. There we go. Day 11, month Rova, year 4715. Which, by the way, a fun fact, when I was doing a bunch of testing stuff, day 2 of month Rova effectively was Aaron's birthday. So party members were like, hey, congratulations on your birthday! And birthday eve and all that fun stuff. It was a little bit funky, but nice touch. I doubt that I'll go through an entire year again to get to the point where I can hear that again, but regardless. When the music stops, Aaron the Cold-Hearted finds himself in a place that looks nothing like the ruins of Kinnabers. It all happens in the space of a blink. He closes his eyes on one world and reopens them on another one entirely. A delicate twilight envelops this new world, with streaks of moonlight breaking through the gloom. Aaron is standing in the shallow stream of murmuring water, deep in the forest. There is no one else around. Garlands of unfamiliar climbing plants twine around the trunks of gigantic trees, and dangling from their branches are vines woven into what remarkably look like swings. A carpet of fragrant grasses spreads out at the tree's roots, with islands of phosphorescent moss and lichen dotted here and there. Small, smooth stone with a strange mirrored surface are scattered across the stream bed in which Aaron is standing. The stones catch the light shining down from the heavens, making them gleam silver, and making the ordinary little brook look like a stream of darkness, carrying a sprinkling of stars throughout the night. Aaron the Cold-Hearted is sure that he has never seen this place before, and yet it feels so familiar. It is the manifestation, not the dreams or fantasy, but of that special way of looking at the world that only children possess. When a glint of light reflected off a piece of glass becomes a fallen star, when an oddly shaped stone can be a remarkable artifact, and when every shadow or twist in the path promises mystery and an incredible adventure, a single glance into the forest stream brings this feeling rushing back. Realizing this, Aaron... Burley makes his way along the stream bed, taking in his surroundings. Oh boy, it's Fae time. The whimsical twisting streams runs through the silent forest, and Aaron unhurriedly strolls along it. This place evokes a strange feeling of, not calm, no, in fact quite the opposite, a feeling of restlessness and anticipation of incredible discoveries or unexpected encounters. Or then again, perhaps it's not the place at all, but the eternal hunger, the craving for new experiences which dwells within many mortal hearts. Speculation aside, just as Aaron rounds the next bend, an unexpected encounter does indeed take place. They come closer, not attempting to hide, stepping lightly on the mossy carpet, leaping from branch to branch, or flitting through the air. The creatures are thoroughly bizarre, as though they were deliberately conceived to try the sanity of every taxonomist on the planet. One has the fluttering wings of a butterfly on its back, another has the tails of a dozen different animals, while a third boasts chests of streaming water, hooves instead of feet, and springy clover covering all over its skin. "We have a visitor," exclaims one of the strange creatures, and it immediately runs along the stream, sending up moonlight silver splashes with every step. That is a damn cool depiction, though. God damn. Where am I? Do you not know where you are? Asked the creature in amusement. There are plains of breathtaking beauty and plains of astonishing wonders, but only Elysium is woven from the creative craving for beauty, from the belief in wonders. That is where you are, in the most peaceful, most wonderful corner of the plain of boundless freedom. Who are you? We are Azatas, the children of freedom, says one of the creatures, carelessly swinging from the branches of a tree. This forest is our home for today. Tomorrow our home could be a lake 100 leagues to the south, or an underground cave in the azure ocean, or a castle of clouds that scatters in the dawn breeze. How did I get here? We don't know how you come to be here, says the creature with a dozen tails, smiling. Mortals rarely come to Elysium during their lifetime, but here you are, which means that something must have brought you, something in your soul. If your soul does not harbor even the slightest spark of freedom, yearning, and compassion, you never would have found your way here. Now that you know the answers, tell us, what do you want? Probably not a good idea to tell some Fey creatures the second one. Well, okay, they're not Fey. Azatas are like a chaotic, good, celestial creature, if I remember correctly. All about freedom. Elysium is basically a giant wildlife area. I do have to go back. They need me there. The creature with the butterfly wings, who has hitherto remained silent, gives the visitor a serious look and nods to itself. I smell the blood, burning, and tears of the place you have come from. It clings to you. It is right that you don't wish to turn your back on the suffering of those you left behind. None of us children of Elysium would do such a thing. Go back, be a bulwark against evil and strife. Your path is true. But would you like to take something from this place as a memento? The question hangs in the air, and though the words that errant the cold-hearted utters next are merely words, not a spell nor a military command, they seem to have an equal bearing on destiny and life. Okay, so I have been misreading these. This is a good action, but when it says requires a certain mythic path, at this point it just opens that mythic path, and that'll be important later to the story. Yes, I really want to. The Azatas draw closer. Take this memory with you. Take this light. Take the knowledge that any pebbles struck by the moonbeam can be equal to a star. Take the understanding that you cannot fight evil with clever plans unless you have conquered evil within your soul, and your soul cannot be cleansed of evil if it is not free. Take our song, remember it, and it may help you, but only when you are true to that which you brought you beneath the sky. All three adepts look at you wide-eyed. What just happened? For a second you were surrounded by light, and we heard music, like the music of Elysium itself. I had a vision. I was in Elysium, and the Azatas spoke to me. The adepts exchanged looks of astonishment. I swear it's a sign that Desnan herself has turned her gaze on you. You helped us and protected Wallflower from the Inquisitors, even though it wasn't your responsibility. The goddess couldn't fail to acknowledge such a noble soul. We might be getting ahead of ourselves here. There are many powerful entities in Elysium besides Desna, but of course there must be a reason for it. I'm so glad we have met you, friend, and not just because I'd be suffering at the Inquisitor's hands right now, if we hadn't, but also because you helped me overcome my doubts. We will always remember you no matter what. Hey, we got a wand of remove disease. That is a fantastic one, even if it's only got 9 charges on it. Well, that was an experience. Everyone else in the party's probably just like, what's going on? What's happening? Why do we care? Cool. We also got 400 something experience points, which is neat. Give me a second again. Go figure that it's when I'm talking that my freaking throat decides to act up again. Let's see. Alright, so we got Common Cause. Clerics of Desnan have joined the Crusade. Think Thieflings have joined the Crusade. We're on. It's time to discuss the plan. Yep. General Dori has found... Now the company is ready to celebrate this happy occasion in the Defender's Heart. Cool. I guess we go back to the Defender's Heart. Because I'm not exactly sure where else I'm supposed to go here. I could have sworn that I was supposed to find the rest of Terindalev, and based on these marks on the ground of blood, either some really big demon is coming through here. But I said the blood stain, the blood of something truly enormous was dragged over these Terindalev, most likely. So Terindalev was brought this way. Guess I collect all. All that there was a mace. Gotta find notes of this for the storyteller in the Grey Garrison, but other than that, we'll hit up the Defender's Heart. We're bound to get more experience points or something. Bum 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 bum. Nothing like waiting for that loading. Ain't the worst loading. God damn it. Hello. Do I want to know what's going on here? This is part of the celebration for what's her face coming back? Better not be thrusting us into the thick of doing combat. Well, there's Jana, so I guess we'll talk to her first. Like it or not, it seems. The Defender's Heart greets you with unexpected liveliness. Beyond the walls of the tavern, the once bustling and festive city lies in ruins, but somehow none of that can be felt within these walls. The people in the room are talking, laughing, raising toasts, even softly singing. It doesn't look like typical tavern revelry, but nor is it the grim vigilance of the recent days. Sela waves to you, and sitting at the table with the trio you met previously, the knight, the half-elf, and the red-headed halfling. Errant, come, let me properly introduce you to Alan, Jana, and Curl, the fearless warriors of the League of the Inspiring Heart. Taylor pushes a mug of beer towards you and speaks softly. It was me who convinced Ilrabeth to use what Jana, Curl, and Elan found for a little party. If you look out the window, you might think the end times had come and the abyss has devoured us all. I thought some simple pleasures, good food and good company, could help keep the gloom at bay. She looks at you hesitantly, as if trying to gauge your reaction. Yeah, I understand. We need to continue living and fighting, however hard that might be, even amidst the chaos that has befallen the city. Allow me to declare my support for Sela's decision as well. Experience tells me that we should shed no tears until after our victory. If we start to mourn the fallen while the battle is still raging, we'll be jeopardizing our efforts. Now is the time to rest. We bury the dead after the last demon has been driven from Kenabras. Hey, are we just gonna sit here with grim faces? I say we get to know each other a little better, so we have better reasons to toast. Tell me about you and your order, Elan. As stories goes, it's not very entertaining. I was born far to the south in Andoran. I lost my parents early, led a life of simple mercenary, but often questioned the path I had chosen. I'm proud of my sword skills. I enjoy training in drills, not afraid of battle. But risking my life for coin? It takes a special mindset to choose that law with no regrets. You have to want to risk your blood. I saw too many of my friends die and wondered if it was worth it. So in the end, I decided to choose another path. Now if I'm going to lay down my life, at least it will be for a good cause. That's how I ended up in Mindev and became a squire for the Houndhearts. It's a small order. By tradition, it's never have more than 12 members, and a new member is only knighted after one of the elders dies. We patrol the lands along the Wardstone line and provide aid to travelers and settlers. Unfortunately, death is common amongst the Houndhearts. I became a full knight 2 years ago after laying my mentor to rest, but I'm content in my choice. My place is among the Crusaders. 1 second, folks. I hate my throat. Have you been serving the Eagle Watch for long, Jana? I sent up 4 days before the demon attack. My lucky or what? She lets out an overtly boisterous laugh. I'm an apprentice of a famous fencing master from Mivon, and I learned a thing or two from him, believe me. I soon got bored of fighting off bandits and getting involved in the petty squabbles of the bickering river kingdoms. Oh boy. I wanted a proper challenge, and you can't find a better place than Mindev. And what do you know? The moment I arrived, the demonic invasion began. My father would say that's no accident. Fate brought me here. What about you, Curl? How'd you end up among the condemned? I just did what everyone else was doing. I grew up in the slums, where everyone stole a little, or maybe smuggled, or guarded stashes, so curled into his mug gloomily. I never killed anybody and never did anything really bad. I got caught stealing, and when they made me choose between prison and the condemned, well, of course I didn't want to go to prison. I'm not that good a fighter, but as Norgabur is my witness, a thief can also be useful in a war against demons. I've also been a good scout. I can sneak under the nose of any monster. I don't know where my friends are now. I got separated when the demons rampaged through the city. Chin up, friend. Whoever you were in the past, you're our friend now, and a crusader. Your skills will be useful to us, you'll see. How do you all know Sila? I met my noble sister on the road to Kenabres. I was returning from the south from my fiancé and was happy to be in the company of a paladin of Iomade. We said our farewells at the city gates, and I went north along the road to Dresden to my order's camp. Ilan's face grows grim at the mention of the camp. The demons attacked us there at the same time they struck Kenabres, but we managed to fight them off. We hurried to the city's aid and joined forces with the Eagle Watch. All my fellow Houndhearts were wounded during the battle on the streets. I'm the last knight of my order who can still fight. It's so good to see Sila again. Every loyal heart counts these days. I met Sila at the Tavern of Kenabres. Before the attack, of course. She was one of the few who would sit at the table with the condemned. Knights usually don't look at us, but Sila is different. I knew the moment I saw her. That's what made me notice Sila too, so I sat down to talk to her. Never understood why everyone treated the condemned so horribly. I still don't. Our Curl is a great lad, so after that night, Sila and I went around the taverns together every day. Mindev is an amazing place. People from all over the world come here for glory, redemption, or help those in trouble. They always find each other. This might be the best place in the world to find like-minded people and friends. That was a toast, in case you didn't notice. Sila, did you call me over just because, or is something the matter? I didn't want to talk about today's celebration. Just want to talk about today's celebration. You see, Alan's in trouble. I want to help him. I don't know anyone else in the city I can turn to. His fellow knights were all wounded in battle. Elan shakes his head. Bad idea, sister. I told you. I don't want to bother anyone else with my problems. I need to handle them on my own. Oh, come on. Hiding your sadness from your friends is no way to live. Curl is right. Errant helped me find you. Without his help, I'll still be looking for you all over Kinderbrest. So, Elan, come on. Stop being so stubborn. Tell me more. He shakes his head. In all truth, I do not wish to impose. My problems are just minor problems. A paladin of Iomade and her friend currently have more important things to do, especially now that Kinderbrest has been overrun by demons. If I've learned anything of life, it's that there's nothing minor about good and evil. Sila begins seriously, but then a smile lights up her face. Take the three of you, for example. Seems like all you did was save one cart from some lesser demons. Well, look how many people are happy now. That feat will never be sung of in songs, but who knows? Maybe thanks to this one joyous hour of peace and rest, the defenders of Kinderbrest will find strength to protect the city. She catches her breath. I talk too much, don't I? Well, Sir Alan, I want to help you, and my reputation as a holy warrior of Iomade won't suffer if it's more of a minor adventure than a glorious feat. The knight sighs and seems a little embarrassed. Alright, I'll explain. The life of a crusader has given me more than just a purpose and a chance to serve a righteous cause. When I abandoned the life of a mercenary and came to Mindev, I gained something else I never expected. It's here that I met, may all the ladies here forgive me, the finest girl in the world. It's a miracle she found any love in her own heart for a bungler like me, but I'm not about to let this miracle go. Not even the demon lord Discari and all his demon army can stand in my way. Luckily, my beloved is now safely away in Kinabres. Away from Kinabres. For half a year I've been getting up my courage to propose to her. I even ordered a ring from Derek Sunhammer, the best jeweler in Mindev. Independent knightly orders live mostly off donations. I'm not what you would call rich, but I still want to make Kiana happy. Oh, it took me 3 months to find a jewel the same shade as her eyes, and twice that long to scrape together enough money. Master Derek's work was worth it, but I lost the ring during the demon attack. I'll probably never find a worthy replacement. The ring is most likely still at the Houndheart's camp outside the city. Ilan and his friends didn't have time to pack up their camp. First the demons ambushed them, and then they rushed off to help Kenabras. I think we should at least go there and check. Not right now, of course, but once the situation in the city is under control. What can we run into in this camp? My friends and I killed 2 large demons attacking the camp, then rode straight to the city without spending any more time cleaning up the rest of their band. It was only a few imps, but they might still be in the camp. Of course, this was a while ago. Our camp was attacked at the same time the wardstone in the main square. And I haven't been back there since. Fine, I'll help. Gila puts a hand on your shoulder. Thanks for agreeing to help. Ilana is a good man and a true knight, and I think the world could repay those who are so devoted to doing good. Let's help him so he can propose to his beloved the way he wants. Tila, I hope you can convince Irabeth to let me go with you when you do this. I don't want to be parted from my friends. Of course, if the League of the Inspiring Card has come together in this dark hour, we must continue onward together. Yay! We did the thing. That was a complete quest, but now we got another one. The city is no longer in danger. There will be time to visit the camp. The ring must be there. And we even got a little bit of experience points for it. That's nice. Excuse me. Alright, quick NPC checks. See if anyone has to say anything else. Nope. Just double check on Forn. No. Double check on Ember. Oh man. I'm gonna need to talk to Daeran because he's bound to have a bunch of things to stupidly say. Nothing out of Ember. Don't think the storyteller has anything more. Well, besides reminding me why is it so important to do the thing. Oh, that is Daeran. Defender's Heart is a splendid choice for the Crusaders' outpost. The very sight of these walls brings back fond memories of drinks and revelry. The drinks were really good, by the way. What made you join my party after all? I mean, instead of carousing far away from Kinabres with a small army of mercenaries to protect me? I'll get to that. You see, when you appeared at my door out of nowhere, awash with bravery and heroism, and started tossing demons around like ragdolls, I thought that your company might be more exciting than my usual crowd of sycophantic hangers-on. You seemed competent and mysterious at the same time, so I decided that a little demon hunting wouldn't hurt, especially with such an intriguing entourage. That party had been growing staler with every passing second anyways. Needless to say, I'm not here for long. I shall return to the capital or even one of my country estates as soon as we reclaim the city. Crusades, billowing commanders, row upon row of identical tents. That's not the life for me. I will certainly remember you and our adventures together. For a week. or perhaps even longer than that. I want to slap him. May I ask a few personal questions? You can try. I've heard stories about the tragedy that befell your family. I hope you don't feel obligated to offer me your insincere condolences on this unfortunate occasion. My whole family, my entire noble line, are all dead, and demons are to blame. It's not like I actually loved any of my relatives except for my mother, but what's gone is gone. The family crypts are full of corpses, all covered in dust and shadows of the past. What do you cherish most in life? Kind of a weird question to ask, but okay. There are far too many things that I cherish to fit them all in a single conversation. Believe it or not, but I might be one of the most life-loving people you've ever known. He smiles, his eyes are gleaming with something different from the usual impudence and irony. There's a dreamy air about him all of a sudden. I rarely meet anyone who embraces the joys of living as enthusiastically as myself. There are so many exciting and beautiful things in this world. It should be illegal to waste your time on anything you do not enjoy. I am not afraid to repeat that to anyone's face, should it be Discari and his demonic herd, or Aomade the Lightbringer herself. What is it you hate the most? The feeling of helplessness, the lack of control over my own life. Daeran replies without thinking, then he adds with obvious sarcasm, and onion rings, of course. I murdered the person who came up with those abominations. I hate that sentence made me like him more. You don't seem especially keen on helping people, but your knowledge of healing is truly impressive. What prompted your interest in that? If you really want to try out everything in life has to offer, you have to understand how to deal with the consequences. And I'm not talking about simple hangover, mind you. Do you have any good stories about your past exploits? I've got plenty, but I have to warn you that even the most outrageous debauchery sounds far less thrilling when you were not the one doing the debauching. Still, since you asked, I suppose the worst mess I've ever got myself into was when I staged my own kidnapping. I was once in correspondence with one of the Riverlands nobles, the young Lord Lebeda, and he told me about his days as a hostage to a group of bandits. This made me wonder what it was like, and I thought that it might be fun to set up a little experiment. I engineered my own kidnapping by a certain gang through a chain of intermediaries and hired actors. Those fellows took the job very seriously. They caught me by surprise, killed my 2 bodyguards, and even tied me up. Of course, the whole thing seems preposterous now, but it seems like an ingenious idea at the time. The employers had told the kidnappers that they were to keep me safe and sound, and another group of mercenaries in disguise was watching this spectacle from afar, ready to interfere in case anything went wrong. It turned out to be a terrible idea nonetheless. It wasn't the least bit fun or exciting. Sure, those bandits had been unable to torture or hurt me physically in any way, but they had plenty of other non-invasive methods of humiliation in their arsenal. Taking almost all of your clothes off and splashing ice-cold water all over you, for example. Ugh. Can't even remember if I said anything truly offensive to provoke them. Even though I initially planned to let them go after the ransom, their overly emotional reactions made me change my mind. I told my mercenaries to hang them all on the spot. I suppose the whole ordeal taught me a valuable lesson, which is that I am not built for hardships and trials. Yeah, these mind games of yours will come back to bite you sooner or later. I hope not. I enjoy myself. I enjoy my life. Now, I'd like to keep this going for as long as possible. Though that was a stupid story, and now I'll tell you a truly brilliant one. Prelate Hole Run, yep, we totally did kill him, had always strictly prohibited any public celebrations in Kenabres, and he has always picked on me for my lack of respect for the fallen and whatnot. Wait, really? What? Always strictly prohibited any public celebrations? Does the festival not count? His grumbling annoyed me so much that one day I drove 4 barges into the city harbor and set up a celebration on their decks. The ships on the river didn't fall under the prelate's jurisdiction, you see, so all he could do was snarl at me from the embankment. I, for one, did not forget the old boy. The main attractions of the festivities involved an Inquisitor of Iomade dancing and roasting beautiful witches on illusionary bonfires, taking off his clothes with every new victim. The spectacle was so heated in every sense of the word that the prelate almost had a stroke. He gives you a mischievous smile. I will consider that one of my finest ideas of all time. Should the Crusaders ever succeed in their efforts against the world wound, I will do my utmost to get permission to hold a grand public celebration, rivers of wine free of charge, an obligatory parade, and a carnival in the evening, a contest for the most provocative succubus costume with a hefty prize in gold. Another contest where the participants have to fish a sausage out of a wine jar blindfolded with their hands tied behind their back. The wine will symbolize the blood of all the dead heroes of the war, and the sausage, well, we'll find a heroic meaning for that as well. Over the years, the commemoration of the greatest victory of light over darkness will turn it into an ordinary holiday, a fine excuse to get sloshed and rot like animals in the streets. Do you just enjoy being mean to everyone? Yes. Ah, well, here I thought you were hurling insults at people purely by accident. He laughs. This time his smile is surprisingly soft. I like your way with words. What did you expect me to say if I wanted to make a good impression? Something along the lines of, I'm not mean, I'm just being honest with myself and everyone else. That's what people use it as an excuse when they want to keep up their saccharine facade while still saying whatever nasty little thoughts spring to mind. That is not what I do. I have no hidden agenda. I'm just as much of an insufferable prick as I seem to be. Some people are simply begging for a good dose of mockery, so who am I to deny them? I don't give a damn if anyone holds a grudge against me, which is why I don't even try to avoid it. Alright. Relatively respectable. Hope this conversation was at least the slightest bit amusing. So, what about your life in Mendev and the Crusade? Ask, I'm all ears. What's your opinion on Mendev today in general? It doesn't exist. Daeran scowls. It's a frontier country that has attracted every utopian, adventurer, and fanatic from all over the world for more than a century. It's a place where the strangers outnumber the locals, especially in the cemeteries. The population of Mendev, for the most part, consists of humans and other races not exactly known for their longevity, so the current generation of Mendevians were born in the shadow of the world wound and raised by the Crusades. I might be the last person to complain about the decline of traditions and lack of character in our country, but I also happen to come from one of Mendev's most ancient lineages. Its history is bred deep in my bones. My tutors told me stories about my heritage, the galleries, libraries, even the interiors of the manors I grew up in were filled to the brim with memories of events long past. There are many heroes of old Mendev among many my glorious ancestors, or at least patrons and contemporaries of such heroes. Does anyone actually remember them now? I don't think so. These days Mendev has its own heroes, in shining armor and the holy fire in their eyes. I myself remember how several streets that once celebrated my ancestors were renamed in honor of some crusaders who had died in a heroic fashion. Now the citizens remember the old crossing festival that was eventually replaced by Armas? Yes. These holidays even share the same date. Pretty much the only authentic thing that Mendev now about Mendev now is its endless war with the demons. And is there a point in bemoaning this state of affairs? What's gone is gone, but at least there are no longer some tiny godforsaken northern kingdom. That's something, isn't it? You really don't like the Crusaders, do you? Quite the opposite. When I think about how many devoted heroes are willing to protect this world against the demonic threat, I feel so inspired to continue indulging my vices while they fight to keep me safe. Imagine being someone like me, someone who has everything they can possibly desire: youth, beauty, wealth, an honest wish to live and enjoy living, but vanishingly few ways to put it all to any use. The fact that the word fun itself is not yet outlawed in Mendev must be due to some bureaucratic oversight. You can celebrate your victory solemnly, you can wet your whistle after a challenging battle, but what about real fun, joys, pleasures? I can't remember a single evening at court without someone chastening me for my banquets, my lovers, my mistresses, my luxuriant clothes, my everything. It would have been a lot easier to tolerate all those hypocrites if they took a break once in a while. Instead, there was a constant fuss about how I wasn't doing anything for the greater good and how I only brought shame to my royal cousin. I mean, he's got a point. What's the point of living if you can't have fun? What do you think of our enemies? Do you mean the demons themselves or their followers? The former deserve to be cleansed with heavenly fire from their unholy origin alone, and the latter for their idiocy. I don't understand why a sane person would submit themselves to Discari or Cabriri. Alright, Lady Nocticula almost seems like a bearable enough mistress, yet there are so many other cultists. They tried to recruit me twice already. I'm not even that old. First, a very pretty tiefling girl tried to seduce me, then they came with promises of Lord Baphomet's endless boons. I still wonder what exactly the old hornhead could offer me that I don't already have. You know what I've been thinking? Every shopkeeper knows this trick, an enticing offer along the lines of 1 in every 100 buns for my bakery contains a silver coin. And of course, a hired actress to make a memorable show of finding said coin in her sweet roll. And there you have it. Hundreds of gullible fools stormed the shop hoping to win the prize for themselves. I think the infamous Arelu Forlesh was such an actress for the Lords of the Abyss. A petty Sarkorian witch who became the uncrowned queen of the world wound, waited upon hand and foot by demon lords. Only instead of visiting a bakery, the gullible fools rushed to join the cultists. We have an army of unbelievably powerful supernatural invaders from another dimension hell-bent on destruction and domination. And what do those fools do? They serve them willingly as pawns and lackeys, hoping against hope that someday their masters will notice them. You won't believe how delighted I am to be so vain and self-absorbed. These sins protect me against demonic temptation better than any virtue. I hate that he has a point. Alright, I gotta go. God damn it, I hate that he has a point. Anything more out of you, Sela? Nope. I am dreading going down the menu and accidentally hitting we should go our separate ways. Nothing out of you. I don't think we have any more. I got a bunch of selling of things to do. But beyond that, a little chit chat with Olivia, I guess. Look, it is. Hi. Are there any suspicious places in the city I should pay attention to? There are a couple of spots I wanted to check out, but I didn't have the time. There really is a den of cultists there. It would be good for you to swoop in there and bust some heads. You don't even need a search warrant. She shoots you a crooked smile. First one is the Silk and Thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabric. They always seem to be oh so busy. They're busy with something in there alright, but sewing it ain't. Second one is the Alchemy Shop, Topaz Solutions, and they trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going down there in the first place. Going down in that place. I swear I can read. Tell me about yourself. I'd be happy to, but there's kind of nothing to tell. What's so interesting about me? Where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found in a cabbage patch. She stopped short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like blabbing about my past. Well, you saved my skin, so I kinda owe it to you not to clown around, right? I'm from Nadal. The oldest surviving countries in Avestan. Age of Darkness, even though it's not beholden to neighboring... Okay. And I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure, ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead, and the official religion is the cult of Zon-Kuthon. I don't think we're gonna get along. I grew up in a slum like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles, my mom's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us. Creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards in Nishrok. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in the secret temple of Desnan. I never saw my mom again. I lay low in the temple for a few years, get my head down, washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while I started liking Desnan's teaching, but as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nadal as and got as far away as I could. Oh, hey! There's actually dialogue for this. Is this simply because I am cool? Shouldn't be afraid of Zonkuthon. The Midnight Lord brings his faithful the gift of freedom and joy. Nevia casts you a sidelong look. Ah, shucks, thanks, but I think I can get by just fine without any of your little gifts. Fair. Quite a ragtag trio you got here, from nobles to street thieves. Got that right. Only the best for you. What do you do if the knights and nobles fail to save the world? The lowlifes are your only help. You know, that's true. How'd you meet Irabeth? I was bumming around Taimon a while back, doing this and that. Desnan temples sometimes give me odd jobs, you know? Sometimes they need people with skills like mine. On the surface it was fine, I guess. After Nadal, the freedom of the River Kingdoms should have seemed like heaven. My chance to sit back and enjoy life. But I wasn't happy. There wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone. No one cared about me, and I didn't care about anybody either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Tying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river started to look pretty appealing. One day I was hired to follow some fellows who the local authorities suspected were Rasmiran spies. I was stupid. I made a rookie mistake and they caught me. Like my body had already decided to do what my mind had been fighting, to finally put me out of my misery. Get someone else to kill me, since I didn't have the guts to do it myself. They grabbed me. I thought they'd gut me on the spot, but instead they hogtied me and dragged me off. And just like an animal going to the slaughter, my only thought was, well, let's get this over with. They brought me to their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and I realized who it was. Kuthites from Nadal. They tracked me down after all these years. But I didn't care anymore. Wouldn't even have cared if they'd eaten me or whatever. We all gotta go sometime, right? So I was lying there, staring at those knives pointed at me, when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Irabeth. There she was, storming into the cave. Picture it. I'm lying on the altar with all these knife-wielding maniacs around me, and suddenly Irabeth storms in. I thought it was Iomade herself. Fierce in her shining armor, with a gleaming sword raised. She made quick work of those scumbags, chopping them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then her face lights up and she chuckles. She looked through the papers they had on the table and started swearing like a sailor. So much for Iomade. So how'd you end up in Kennebrest together? After almost becoming human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Irabeth's side. Desnan knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and when Irabeth showed me what was in those papers, proof that the cultists had a nest in her home city, well, I offered to help without a second thought. Denevia smiles warmly. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the cultists, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Kennebrest like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half the crusaders are all the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You gotta be either a goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit who with no life out in the normal world with normal people. People come here to run away from their deaths, their pasts, from themselves, so I fit right in. What's it like living with Irabeth? It's like living. Without her, I wouldn't be. Seriously, if I were alone, I'd definitely be gone by now. Sure, sometimes we argue, can't deny that. Sometimes we bang our fists on the table and yell so loud that the walls shake, but that's all about order business. But at home? I'll give you an example. I've kind of always wanted to move out of that broom closet we call a house and into somewhere cozier. It ain't like they take a vow of poverty at the Eagle Watch, but every month, somehow most of our spare money is spent on crusader business. Sure, I get mad about it, but she makes a helpless gesture. It's part of why I love her so much. No, Irabeth has that thing that matters most for a person, purpose in life. She's always got a reason for whatever she's doing. Her whole life is crusade, and I'm just drifted around like a leaf in the wind until Desnan brought us together. Now she's the meaning of my life. So it really makes no difference if we live in a mansion or under a bush. Thanks for your answers. Thanks for asking. Telling you all this kind of makes me feel better. What are your responsibilities in the Eagle Watch? Nothing official. I'm not even a knight, you know. I just hang around. You sure you want to know the details? Catching traitors and spies and cultists is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. You can always do it all within the letter of the law. What if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search? Everyone will know about it before long, starting with their cronies. And again, sneaking into people's houses at night isn't exactly legal. Crusaders can't be doing stuff like that, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight. She trails off. Alright, watch yourself now. Woo! Lengthy conversation. I kind of hate that talking with Daeran made me like him just a smidgen more. Just a smidgen. Not a whole lot. Well, save some dudes. Got a new mythic path available. I believe that's a good place to call an episode, and also because it's been about an hour and 5 minutes of my recording. Yes, that's totally how you spell Let's Play, Dar. My fingers aren't working right now. In any case, when we return, I guess the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to lay waste to some cultists that might be in the city. That'll be fun. Thank you everyone so very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying playing it. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.